Joe Henderson was an American jazz tenor saxophonist. The tenor sax is the larger of the two most common saxes, which are the tenor and the alto, and the tenor is the one that goes honk like an asthmatic duck at times. Um, in his late teens, he got involved in the Detroit jazz scene, which was in the mid 50s. Um, in 1960 to 1962, he spent a couple of years in the army and he got involved with army entertainment, so he started playing in bands there as well. In 1963, his recording career started, and he recorded albums both as a leader and as a sidesman, which is when somebody else is the leader and you're playing in their band. Through the 70s and beyond, he got involved in all sorts of things. He was doing his own stuff as a leader, but he also got involved with the band Blood, Sweat and Tears, and with a guy called Chick Corea, who came through the Miles Davis stable of musicians, and got involved in jazz funk stuff. He died in 2001, age 64, and he has a typically huge discography for a jazz musician. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the debut album by Joe Henderson, and it's my first time listening to it. And I'm not going to contest the idea that this is jazz. It's hard bop. I'm slowly getting used to the idea of what that is. To describe that, it's instrumental small band music. Um, and I understand that we're at a time here where big band has become commercially unviable, and so small band has kind of taken over. And the kind of, in terms of the development of jazz, this is a point in the journey of jazz where, with hard bop, that there seems to be quite a lot of freedom in the way that soloing is done, but it's not so chaotic that we're getting towards free jazz or even, modal, which is kind of complicated. The whole thing's complicated. Jazz is a very complicated area, I think. So I think there's quite a lot of hard bop on this list, or have been so far. Also, a while ago, 10 or more years ago, I acquired quite a collection of jazz at one point, which I had, and I listened to it quite a bit there. And in retrospect, I think pretty much all of that was hard bop as well. So it's a style of jazz that I feel quite comfortable with. We've got tenor sax, we've got a trumpet, we've got a piano, we've got bass and drums. And as I normally do at this point, I will bring out the other names that I know out of people there. The only other name that I know is McCoy Tyner, who is on piano, but he was apparently uncredited because of label issues, which was quite a common thing in those days. It's Yeah, of course, it's jazzy. There's a couple of tracks at least with Latin rhythms. So especially Recorder Me and the opening track Blue Bossa, both of which became standards. So Blue Bossa, I'm going to talk about the first track on the album. This had me scratching my head because I recognised it. I felt I knew it. I felt I knew it well, even the tune, but I didn't know it from the name Blue Bossa. Now, way back in the midst of time in my 20s, I played for a stint as a bassist, electric bass, in a jazz band. So got to know some jazz tunes for that. So the question was it one of the ones that we did? And I don't think so. I'm still kind of thought we might have done. We did at least one bossa nova of some kind. Yeah, so it's bossa because it's bossa nova. And then I kind of thought, but my conviction was it probably in a song. Feel like I recognise it, and there's some words to go along with it. And eventually, it came to me, and it went click. Now I'm going to play it as the kind of leading out bit at the end of the. I very rarely do anything like this. I'm going to leave it as a puzzle for you. Okay, so I'm going to play that tune bit on the over on the closing credits, and I'm going to try and remember to actually say what it is that I recognised it from at the end of the details that are below the video. If I forget, because I go through a process as I do this, and it's possible that I'll forget to do that, please do a comment and remind me because I I enjoyed this process of going through what is it, what is it, what is it? Oh yes, and I hope that some of you will be able to have that experience yourself. Um, so I'm going to do it as a teaser. So I like Blue Bossa. I especially liked Homestretch, which is fast and fun. Most of the rest of them are, I would kind of say, they're okay, they're reasonably enjoyable. The track that I liked least was the second track, which is La Mesha, which I felt was slow and pointless. I felt it should be called La Musha. Um, but I have a kind of mixed opinion, but it's yeah, better than average. A bit sort of mixed feeling here, but yeah, not bad. All right. So, as always, at this point, I'd like to invite you to tell me what you think of this album. You may know a lot more about this album. You may know loads about Joe Henderson. You may know loads about hard bop. But you also might be kind of new to jazz or relatively new, as I am. It is very much a deep pond, and I'm paddling at the edges. And I think there are a lot of people really who are in the same situation as me who are not jazz enthusiasts, which is what I try and do is approach these reviews in a way that hopefully helps make the jazz accessible and helps give a genuine response from somebody who is fairly new to quite a bit of this. Anyway, that's enough of that. The next review on this album is going to be on this channel, a very different album, Crack the Sky by Mastodon. But that's it from me for now.